Hello. Can you believe it is week 8? But we are here and we have plenty to smile about, even though the topic today is grief. I think grief is it's a very raw emotion that, regardless of where you're from or who you are, what you look like, what you believe, we all, as humanity, can relate to it. The TED Talk video, he mentioned the speaker. He mentioned how people tried all these different ways to console him after the loss of his sister, and he found that the hugs and trying to anticipate what you may need from your grief are kind of two big strategies that we as fellow people can help go about helping people cope and deal with their own grief. But I'd like to add another thing that I've noticed in my own personal life, and that is to smile and to be genuine. Um, you know, we all experience tragedy. I've lost people I love. I've had, friendships, relationships, and, we all have in some capacity. And so often I think people say, "How are you doing?" It's just one of those things that we even say to people in passing, like, "How are you?" But how often when we say something like that, do we really mean it? Because if something terrible happened in my life and someone asked me just in passing, "Oh, hey, Eric, how are you?" And I told them, "I'm doing terrible. My dog just died, or, my girlfriend just broke up with me." Do you think the person that asked me that would be expecting something like that to come from my mouth? Probably not. I think with our words, we all can do a better job of being truly genuine. And something interesting that I learned in the article about what is grief, where we kind of talked about that what was the word, concurrent, not concurrent. I I'm blanking on the first word, but essentially I think it's concurrent grief. It's definitely something else, but kind of like this long term state of grief. That's something I definitely never thought of. Um, I've been fortunate in my life, regardless of what I've been through. I've been able to not only accept it, but use it to make me a stronger person. But for some people, like we learn, grief kind of comes and goes individually. Some people, they can get stuck through no fault of their own, but they can happen. You know, and that term I'm blanking on, it kind of goes back to the fact that we all can use help and we all need help. And we all need sincerity and we all need a smile, regardless of how long it's been, or whether we think that, maybe you should be over that your girlfriend broke up with you 2 years ago, but maybe that person isn't. That's just an example, but still. And lastly, I really like in this that 6 steps process, that spike process. One thing I really found interesting was, roughly half the healthcare professionals felt like they only did an okay or did not do a good job of delivering bad news. And again, I think just because we're health professionals, it's so easy to feel daunting. It's so easy, to see that what we may say may drastically change someone's view on life. But I think we have to take a step back And the article as a whole kind of surmised this. We need to take a step back and approach it from a humanistic approach where we're not trying to, in this instance, just be a healthcare professional. I think while they didn't outwardly say that, we're trying to be a human. We're trying to be a human that's trying to help another human understand what's going on and trying to help them know what their options are when they're ready for it. And at the end of it all, regardless of what the prognosis may point towards, offer them some type of hope and some type of solace. And again, I don't think you need to have this massive education to do these things. I think it's something, if you follow your heart and be genuine, you can kind of find a way to do that. So I'll end it there. Thanks for sticking with me. Bye.